Thing don't want to play to rest clear. Right, start back there. Bear with me 1 minute, E.
When we see Pleiadian ships, we see a sphere of light, because it's the
Yeah, so what I was saying about Menelin, my G, they are. So what I was saying about Menelin, yeah, the secret of the sun was one of the fundamental higher sciences that was in, hold on. I'm taking a piss out of man, yeah. The hell is this gone? Okay. Got you. Yeah, here we go. So we're saying 9 ether is a combination of all of the nine ether is a combination of all of the 9 noble gases, yeah, into one force. It is the most potent force in the omniverse. 9 ether creates and 6 ether destroys in a process of birth and death, eternal life. 9 ether is the creative force driving creation. One of its expressions is referred to in ancient Kemet as Hu-Hi, the force of creative will, which is none other than yin-yang energy, to speak in familiar terms. Male and female creative waveform energy. Over time, 9 ether loses some of its force. When 9 ether dies, 6 ether is created. At the death of 6 ether, 9 ether is reborn. It is a process of life and death at the same time, but never in the same place. So somewhere in the universe you have birth, and somewhere else in the universe you will have death. It happens at the same time, but never in the same place, in a process of birth and rebirth, yeah? The sun is therefore a stargate that opens into an event horizon, which is a vortex or a wormhole. It is opening and closing this very moment as we speak. It has gates into it at different areas. The main one is at the bottom. So Elijah, if you see that documentary I put in the group, the knowledge of the forever time, it goes into and gives you the evidence as to how the sun is actually a natural stargate, and a lot of extraterrestrials come into this quadrant of the universe actually through the sun and charge at the sun and stuff, yeah? As we speak, yeah. Different aliens come through different stargates. The event horizon is the point where space-time touches the black hole. Our sun also has 2 black holes at each side of itself. At the moment, in 2020, it is surrounded by a huge fleet of mothercrafts from the Intergalactic Confederation of 19 Galaxies. They are here to take the planet out of quarantine, the 6,000 year quarantine that the planet's been in. They are here to take the planet out of quarantine. Hold on, where are you? And raise it up to the 5th dimension and higher. It has already begun, so keep your eyes on the skies. Carbon is known to form almost 10 million different compounds. 10 million carbon manylene, yeah? A large majority of all chemical compounds, yeah, which is a large majority of all chemical compounds. Carbon manylene also has the highest sublimation, which means solid to gas, point of all elements. In order to go through the Stargate, one must first be a child of the sun god. Our ancestors knew this. We were made to forget. Embrace your multidimensional amplifier called manylene carbon-12. When the sun finishes what it's doing, transmuting your genetics, we will receive supernatural superpowers, in the children especially. Carbon-12 will turn to carbon-17, meaning your children will be born with triple strands in their DNA. Then we shall witness the real X-Men, the real Avengers, the real Goku, the real Matrix. Watch this space. Yeah, so that was from Today's Tomorrow's Yesterday, chapter 1, which goes into a bit more of the metaphysical aspects of the teachings. So it's different to Treasures in the Sun, okay? But I just wanted to show you that, for you to understand that all of this coronavirus vaccination, microchipping is really to stop your transition into a God man again. You, being as they're dying out, you're going up, you're revoluting. They have evolution, you have revolution. Your revolution means you come full circle back into your God self. And that's only the people who are tuned into the God vibration. I'm not talking about all black people. A lot of black people will be going crazy with these Caucasians because they're tuned into that frequency. They'll be losing their life with these people and getting wiped with them. I'm talking about the people who are not based on just race and not based on just physicality and externalizing shit. I'm talking about the people who are very much inner beings and find the inner kingdom and find the inner peace and develop that. Them people there will be the ones that are more likely to activate their superpowers, because it's not everyone that's going to do it. Everyone will be activated to a certain degree. But what I'm talking about here is supernatural superpowers like what you see on X-Men and Heroes and fucking Avengers and in the Matrix. And I'm talking about them gifts that have been locked off of humanity and the higher perception, like your intuition, your clairvoyance, your telepathy. You understand what I'm saying? All of them psychic powers and stuff. Yeah, the great tribulation of the beast and the medical mafia, they're out for the star seeds. They're coming to try and find those with their pineal gland open. That's why they come and put that thing on your head to try and test your temperature. Once they find you a star seed, they'll try and take you off the grid, meaning take your life, take you out the game. Because at the end of the day, you are the ones that are going to inherit this kingdom. And the way that the devil works is, if I can't have it, no one can have it. So because he knows you're about to, it's your coronation, you're being crowned right now through the crown chakra reopening and reconnecting with source energy in the sun, they're trying to shut that off. And when you take these vaccines and these nanotechnologies, they will be shut off for good. You won't be able to get them back. Okay? So all of this transhumanism with Elon Musk and the digitized synthetic cell lines and stuff is going to take us into a great tribulation that's going to last for 7 years, and it's going to be so bad that people will literally wish that they would that they could die. People will wish that they didn't wake up today. Do you understand? That's what time we're going into. I'm going to leave you with one more quote from the Bible, and that's just because of how serious this quote is. I actually end my book Coronation with this quote, but I'll put it in on the internet so I can find it quick rather than scrolling through this computer because it's long. I don't have a mouse and it's just going on long. So I think it's Revelation 2:9. Let's have a look because I'm already on Revelation. Revelation 2:9. Yeah. So these devils, Kushashu, whether you want to call them Jews or Zionists or whatever, I stay away from them words because they're trying to censor people. So I use the word Kushashu, which means plunderer, wanderer, nomad, patriarch. That's what our ancestors used to call them, Kushashu, and it is linked with the word Semitic, yeah? Them motherfuckers there have now, knowing that they do not have an eternal life and they do not have a connection to the eternal source, conjured up what's called A, letter A, mortal. Amortal life. Amortal life is to do with transhumanism, consciousness transfer into sleeves. Sleeves is what they call a clone body that is cloned without a mind or without a consciousness, so that somebody else's consciousness can be put into that sleeve, into that clone. Netflix is a part of that program. They're running a show right now promoting it called Altered Carbon. Yeah, but that's what you call immortality, because they will not have no immortality or eternal life. The wages of the gift of God is eternal life. The wages of sin is death. Because they're dealing with a sin where their whole world is to do with sin, they ain't gifted with eternal life. They're not able to tune into that vibration, being the nature of the beast that they have. So they've come up with this amortal technology, which is transhumanism, which is being driven by the medical industry, the scientific industry, and guys like Elon Musk in Silicon Valley that's coming with his transhumanism and his Neuralink programs and shit. That shit there is the devil. And them Jews, or them Kushashu Zionists, because not all Jews are bad people. There are Jews that are totally against Zionism. There are Jews that are totally against fucking the occupation of Israel. White Jews, totally against it. So I salute them just like I salute anybody else. I'm just talking about that controlling bunch of motherfuckers, those that have the influence and the power and run the Zionist agenda. Those Kushashu motherfuckers, they are not Jews. They are Khazars. Study the history of Khazaria to find out who they really are. And also some of them Arabs that are running around talking about they're Muslims. They are Khazars. Do you understand? And I'm going to hit you with a verse that Haru is what I call him. Some people want to say Isa alayhi salam. Some people want to say Yahshua HaMashiach. You understand? The real Messiah. This is what he said. Revelation 2 verse 9. I know thy works, yeah? And tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Do you understand? That medical mafia is the synagogue of Satan. That's what Haru said. You understand? We know about them people that talk about they're Jews, but they're not Jews. They're the synagogue of Satan, rude boy. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with. That's the power behind this medical tyranny, scientific tyranny, medical mafia that we're seeing right now. And it's about to get worse. Don't get it twisted. This is not going to relent. More lockdowns are coming. More fucking curfews are coming. And more restrictions are coming. Make sure that you win the mental battle first. That's the most important battle. Your mind. Do you understand? To make sure that you keep your mind, man. Because a lot of people are going to be losing their mind through this, alright? I'm going to scroll through some of these comments. If you guys have got questions, throw them out, man. Yeah, the 369, that's a vibration thing, you get me? The 369, yeah, is really the keys, you understand? But people don't speak in equations no more. They don't do Fibonacci and divine numbers and magic and stuff. So that just goes over a lot of people's head. But the science of the 369 is for real. Numbers never lie. 1 and 1 is 2 in every language. See what I'm saying? But that's it, man. You got them 7 plagues, yeah. And you can see I think it's Revelation 9 when they see an angel come down with the 7 candles and the 7 candle lampstand in his hand, and he had the keys to the bottomless pit. And the fucking 4 horsemen and the apocalypse, the black horse, the white horse, the pale horse, and all of that. That's now, man. That's now. And I think them horses also represent Trojan, like the Trojan horse. Like, they're going to tell us about something, but really it's one of them Trojan horses that carry a whole other different consequences with it. Do you see what I'm saying? But yeah, you got the 229E, the NL63, the MERS-CoV, the SARS-CoV-1, the HKUI, the OC43, and the SARS-CoV-2. They're the 7 bumbleclot plagues, last bumbleclot plagues of this world. And don't get it twisted, I think there's more to come from them plagues, but I think they'll just be like subdivisions of them fucking 7. Do you see what I'm saying? We're in it right now, in the thick of it. This medical warfare right now, and it's frequency warfare. They have not turned on the 5G towers yet. When they turn them motherfuckers on, we're going to know about it. Especially those of us full of chemicals and full of metals and chemtrails, and we're not washing out our system properly and stuff. Like, you know about it. And especially those who have been wearing the mask and killing their immune system even more. Like, you ain't going to fucking survive very long. It's that peak, man. Them masks there are really unhealthy. They don't help in the least. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just stay wary of this, what they're calling medicine, because it's allopathic medicine. They're dealing with petrochemicals that they're getting from petroleum. That means that all they're concerned, this is why when you go to the doctors, all they're concerned about is your symptoms, how you feel. What is your symptoms? Because allopathic medicine studies symptoms. It doesn't study the causes or cure. It studies symptoms, because their objective is to, put it this way, in the 1900s they started studying plants when they first started allopathic medicine. And the reason they studied plants was not to find cures. They wanted to find out which vitamin and which chemical does what for what ailment. Once they found out which was which, they started creating their own version of it, what you call let's say a synthetic vitamin A or a synthetic vitamin B or C. And then them synthetic versions they're making from the petrochemicals, they come with side effects. They have side effects, thousands of side effects with it. So that's why they started studying the plant. So all of these vitamins and stuff that they give us now is made from petrochemicals, and that's why they got all of that fucking list of side effects with it. So a lot of us have still got a lot of them stuff in us. Do you understand? Now is the time to start cutting out that kind of stuff. Don't start cutting out the paracetamols and the aspirins and the ibuprofen, and you know what I mean? Use it as a last resort kind of thing, because at the end of the day, if it's the case where certain people won't be able to activate powers, if you're full of all these artificial chemicals and E numbers and saccharin and aspartame, certain parts of your circuits fried from them chemicals. So the best thing you can do now is to try and get it out of you. Even things like this, like what they say is pure orange juice from concentrate, this is not even good for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? The best thing we can do now is just to go to alkaline water. Drink alkaline water more than you drink juices, even fruit juices and anything like that. When you get your fruits, make sure, try your hardest to get fruits that have seeds in there. Don't mess with none of these seedless fruits or these hybrid fruits and stuff. Even though some of them might taste very nice and it might be very convenient not to have the seeds in there. All of that is a part of the medical tyranny, the medical mafia, that is not something new. It's been going on for a very, 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 very long time. So over the space of the last, let's say, 50 years, these 7 coronavirus plagues, it ain't just come from nowhere. They've developed them. Like I said, germ warfare is the secret weapon of the Caucasus, of the Caucasian, because I posted a video the other day, I think it was on my Facebook, that in the Amazon they've come into contact with some Indian tribe. Where was it? I can't remember where it was. It might have been Peru, with some Indian tribe, yeah, where they've not made contact with the outside world. So this is one of the first times, and apparently they've killed off a lot of the elders of these Indian people, burned down their houses and stuff like that. So these people have kind of took an aggressive approach now. But you can see in the video that it's, and in the subtitles in the bottom, it says that a lot of these Indians started dying out as soon as the white man hit down, because when they showed it's in Peru, and they're showing the Peru people going to meet these Indians that don't live in society. They've never come in contact with these people, not even the Peruvian Indians. But here it is, in the video, it's like 3-4 white men in front of this group, like with the Peruvians. Like, why are they there? And then it says at the bottom that these Indians who came out the forest started dying. They started dying from these diseases and stuff, yeah, that they've never had. They've never had them diseases, so the immune system can't deal with it. And they don't have an NHS or a health system to help them. So it just started spreading through these Indians, and they had to put it under control. And right when they were saying that, they're showing the group of people meeting these Indians with 4 white men in front. And I says to Harmony, I says, listen, can you see that? That's what I'm saying. These people, no racist thing, no disrespecting. They carry germs, they carry fleas and stuff. They carry certain bodily germs that other native full human people, because these people are not full human. They some of their ancestry is from Neanderthal. So these Neanderthal creatures carried certain diseases and stuff. So what you get now with Caucasus, and I'm using that word because of censoring, you know what Caucasus means. Caucasus carry certain germs, carry certain nits, carry certain fleas, carry certain diseases. That's why it's easy for them to sit around the table with a dog and all of that stuff. Whereas for the tuned in African person like me and you, indigenous person, we're not comfortable with a dog sat right there while I'm here with my plate. Fleas can be jumping in my food. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's natural to them. Yeah, so you're dealing with somebody who has perfected germ warfare. And over the course of the last 50 years, with these 7 new coronavirus, that's turned into the 7 last plagues. Do you understand what I'm saying? It may be a case that this SARS-CoV-2, this current coronavirus, is just the first of the 7 plagues. You know what I'm saying? Now that they've spent all this time making all these different coronaviruses, this one now is turned into a plague. Then we're going to have a next plague after this, then a next plague after that. But I don't believe that. My research tells me that all of these coronaviruses that affect humans are actually the last 7 plagues. And this SARS-CoV-2 is the last of the 7. Do you understand? That's where my mind's at. I could be wrong, but that's where my mind's at. And it's germ warfare and bio warfare is not something new. They've been using that shit from their body from the moment they've been making contact with people and understood, bastard, our germs will kill people off. They used it to their advantage. Yeah, ginger's proper. Like, you should have ginger every day. Ginger, garlic, lemon, turmeric. Like, I mix them all in a pot and drink it like a tea, like a tincture. Do you understand? You should have that as much as you can every day, or any kind of mix of them kind of stuff like sarsaparilla and stuff, sea moss, anything that boosts you up, man. Like, it's not all about how things taste. We've been taught in this society to value food only for the taste. I like that, it tastes good. But we don't just eat for taste. We eat for medicine. The medicine is in the food and the food is in the medicine. So therefore, certain things that we eat, we're not eating it for it to taste nice. We're eating it because we're asking it to perform a function. Whether we're asking telepathically or speaking the intention into the food and the water, we're asking a service from this. So in that sense, of course, yes, definitely. And that's how we beat this, with our vibration correct and us being on the right alkaline diet, or more so towards the right alkaline diet. Because one thing I will say to people as well, when people try and say everybody should be vegan, that's not correct. Like, everybody don't have the same purpose. Depending on what kind of person you are and what your purpose is and what your ancestry is, determines what your dietary thing is going to be like. Do you understand? And I've heard Dr. York saying I'm not going to tell you what to eat because it's based on your ancestry. Like, let's put it this way. Somebody who's from a family of heavy warriors, fighting, bloodshed and stuff, defending the kingdom and stuff, a lot of them are heavy meat eaters. Yeah? Somebody who's from an agricultural background where they're farmers and stuff, they're heavy vegetarian eaters and stuff. So I don't really try and bandwagon everybody and jump on this vegan thing in that sense. Like, oh, everybody should be fully vegan and that. I'm just saying, eat healthy and know your ancestry and know your purpose and what fuels your body to perform the function that you're here to perform. And also, whatever you're eating, don't go for the cheapest of it. Like, don't buy the cheapest eggs or the cheapest, if you eat eggs, or the cheapest bread or the cheapest rice. Buy the fucking good quality products. Even if it's not the most expensive. I know all of us ain't got money. Even if it's not the most expensive, try and buy like decent products. Like, even if in the middle, it's not the most expensive, but it's not the most cheapest. Because quality is more important than quantity. Make sure that whatever you're eating, whether it's the vegan stuff, whether it's meat, whether it's eggs, whether you drink, whatever, salads, fruits, try and get decent stuff. Try not to take shortcuts. And I like to say, don't try and save money on food, innit? Try and save money on food, but don't be so much into saving when you're dealing with food, because you're dealing with your nutrition and your sustenance, and you want to make sure that you're not just using some bogus product, because a lot of these products that they're selling for cheap are bogus, man. You're 9 either. Listen, there's no such thing as a mixed race person. That is a false notion. Everyone, that's why they say white people have recessive genes, because If I mix with any other race, a white woman, an Asian woman, or whatever, my DNA will match their DNA. Meaning that black people's DNA will make that child look black. Look at Barack Obama. Most people will pass him off as black, but he's mixed race. So there's no such thing as half caste or mixed race. You've either got the dominant gene or you ain't. And mixed race people have dominant genes too. They might not have as much of it as a full-blooded black person, but then you got black people who have got light skin too, like the Khoisan, and they've got some of the oldest DNA in the earth. So it's not necessarily how dark you are determines if you're black. It's actually to do with your hair, your 9 either. So if your hair's curled in 9s, then you're 9 either. If your hair's loosely curled, then you're 8 to 7.5, then you're 8 either. If your hair's really loosely curled, then it's like 7 either. But the onlyest person who doesn't have the dominant gene is white folk, and that's why their hair is the way that it is, and also that's why their skin is the way that it is. That makes them a free either being or a ghost person. So any mixed race person cannot be classed as a white person, and that's in British law. According to British law, any white person that has 1 drop of black blood in them ain't a white man, and that's why they mix with their own. They will mix with their royal families, will inbreed. They ain't mixing with no regular white folk out here that's been mixing with me and you. They're not pure to them, do you understand? They're like mongrels to the royal family. The royal family and them, the blue blood veins and shit, they want to keep their blood blue. Do you understand what I'm saying? So all of you mixed race people out there that feel like you're dilly-dallying, that's bullshit. You're fucking just as black as I am. Just like Nefertiti was mixed race. Just like Bob Marley was mixed race. Just like Malcolm X was mixed race. You don't get people saying, oh, fucking Malcolm X was half caste or half white. Nah, nigga, Malcolm X was black. Bob Marley was black. Barack Obama's black. No matter what he says. Tiger Woods' fucking big teeth ass is black. It don't matter what he says. So what I'm saying to people is, that's a false notion about mixed race. Over here in England, they used to call it half caste, if you're old enough to remember. And then they banned that word, saying, oh, that's politically incorrect. You can't say it no more. It's like saying nigger. It's an insult. So it maybe 15, 20 years ago, they stopped using the word half caste because you're not half white and half black. You've got dominant genes. You might have been weakened because you had a mixing with white people, but you can't kill the God gene. The God gene's forever. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can breed it back. Like if you mixed race people was to go and breed with black people now, you can breed your genetics back up. That's how it works. You can breed a woman that's been mixed out should look for a person who's darker than her or who's got stronger genetics than her so she can breed her genes back up. Or him, he should look for a sister that's darker than him, not for one of these light-skinned sisters just because it's the trend. You understand what I'm saying? You want your DNA to be bred back up into the God DNA, then you should be influencing your seed and your children to breed darker and breed back up so you can wash out that DNA that got mixed into your DNA, and that's how genetics works. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me go back up because I'm sure I've seen a few questions there. Yeah, it's better to buy your own. And furthermore, it's better to plant your own. It's better to get back into the science of growing your own food. Because we're relying too much on these fucking Walmart and Asda and Sainsbury's and shit. We come from a nation of agriculturalists in the Nile Valley. So therefore, we should be growing our own food so that we know for certain it comes straight from the earth, because there's a blessing that you get even just from eating straight from the earth. Not no shelf with no tins and no fucking preservatives and additives and shit. So if you got the space and you can grow food, grow food or buy from people that you know are growing food. Like I got people around me that are growing food. I need to get to my man this week and buy some lettuce and tomatoes and onion. You know what I'm saying? Anything you can get that comes from the earth, get that. My battery's about to die as well. I had it on 60 something. Hold on. Yeah, it's better to grow your own fruit and veg. Black History UK. I think, Jam Lucy, and I think it's 2032. According to Dr. York, he said 2032, their time's up. And it was supposed to be 2030, but they messed around with the Philadelphia experiment and lost years of time. So he says if it don't happen in 2000, look for it to happen in August the 12th, 2032. But I hear that, 2037, yeah? Yeah, that's what they are. The Caucasus is a mongrel race. That's why you can have one with blonde hair, blue eyes, red hair, green eyes, black hair, brown hair. And you can have all this in one family. You can have a mum with black hair and the daughter comes out with blonde hair because the dad's got blonde hair. Or, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like us where we just look all one kind of way. Not that we all look one kind of way, but there's a certain uniform because we're a pedigree race. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you get to sub-races and you get to mongrels, you're going to see that there's no uniform in the race. They can look any way. They can have some white people who have got black features. It's just that they're pale. And you got some white people who their features are nothing like black people. So that race is, the phenotypes in it is very wide. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not because shit comes from them. It's because they're not a pure race. They're not a pedigree race. Yeah, but your son, even, especially your children, yeah, their melanin, sometimes it takes time to mature. I remember when my daughter, Akasha, when she was born, she was very light. She looked really light skinned. But then her colour came through after. So, do you understand? Sometimes children grow differently. But as I said as well, it's not just based on the blacker the berry, the deeper the roots. Some people, their roots are pure and they're the yellow colour or the beige colour, like the Khoisan people. We, black people, is not the word to call us, simply because black in the English law cuts us off as a human being, dehumanises us, even though the ancestors refer to themselves as Kemet, the black people. When we're dealing with English, their law and their fucking all of that shit dehumanises us through that term, okay? So my point is, when the Anunnaki came here on Nibiru, they had 400 plus types of DNA. And within the melanin, they had 9 different shades of melanin within melanin. So it doesn't mean just because you're a bit lighter than somebody else, that automatically means that you're not as black as them or you're not as revolutionary as them and all of that bullshit. Do you understand? We are not black people. Do you understand? We are Cosmosians. We are Tamarayans. Do you understand? And Meri means love. So if we say Tamarayans, we are the love. We are the people of love, the children of the sun, the black gold of the sun, the soil of the earth, the salt of the earth. And when you wash out, the salt loses its savour, to use Jesus' words in the Bible. Once the salt loses its savour, then what good is salt? If your salt couldn't spice up your food because it's lost its kick, what's the point of putting salt on your food? So that's the same with your melanin. You are the salt of the earth, and you are given this badge for a reason, not just to discredit it and just wash it out just because you think this gal's got a big batty or whatever. You've got a certain responsibility and a certain accountability and purpose to make sure that you leave children on the planet that look like you and that are in the image of the ancestors, because the image of the ancestors is the image of the gods. Yo, I'll send you this live so you can slap it on the page, man, because it was fire for real. The part 1 was fire, and this is fire. And my battery's about to die as well. I'm a moat dry, me have white squall, me hungry. So I'll catch up with you, no problem, G. Yeah, man, respect. Yeah, man, guys, I'm going to cut out, yeah? It's been a lovely talk with you guys. I hope you benefited from that and understand what I mean, because you'll see me posting on the medical mafia and weaponized science and alchemy. So I hope this has contributed to your search for your own truth. And I hope that you have a really pleasant, powerful rest of the night. And I hope that you put protection on yourself and remember your gratitude, yeah? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Love and light always. Bless out, yeah? Hota.